Yo, yo, can you hear me all right?
Donnie Lee,
Yeah.
how
How
we
you
doing?
doing, man? Dude, I'm doing phenomenal. How are you?
Amazing, amazing.
Amazing.
Excited to dive into it.
Love to see it.
You're back from Hawaii. How long were you there for?
I was there for like a month, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, nice. And you're in North Shore area.
Yeah, I went kind of all over Oahu. So North Shore, Kailua, Waikiki, just like vibing out.
Awesome,
Mhm.
awesome. All right. Well, on this call, Donnie, all I really want to do is should be pretty brief. Is go over the last several months of you going through my program
Mhm.
and growth you've experienced specifically with your social circle and your business.
Mhm.
And then at the end of it, we can talk about, what you do. And I'm sure people will be interested to find out more about the man, the myth, the magician, Donnie Lee.
For
So
sure.
very first thing, what would you say is like the general transformation one liner you experienced? Like I think I sent you a couple of these, right? It was like
Yeah,
how Cameron went from
yeah.
living with his parents and no money to making thousands a month and traveling to Hawaii, Dubai with Sam
hmm
Colder, right? Like, so what would you say that is for you?
Jeez. Okay, let's see. The one liner would be going from a failed scientist to traveling to Hawaii with a team of 20, changing the world for the better and realizing that life's actually what I want it to be.
Dude, you were a scientist?
hmm Yeah, I went to school for computer science, then
Oh,
now I'm
oh,
doing natural
okay.
medicine.
Oh, got it. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wow. That's a wild title. I don't think that one's ever that's nuts. Cool. All right, well then let's start. So, when did you join? You've been in it for a pretty long time.
Yeah, I mean, I found you on accident. Like, what's his name? Justin Escalona, like, posted something where you're like in one of his 1340s. I was like, this guy has a cool vibe. And then I just like popped right in there. Like the next day, that's when I scheduled that YouTube call.
September, maybe
Yeah, I think so.
2020, like late, yeah, late
Yeah, it was
2020.
late 2020. hmm
So then you joined, and around that time, you're saying you were a scientist. So what were you doing?
Yeah, I mean, so I originally went to school for computer science at Georgia Tech, just kind of going through that flow, learning about artificial intelligence and just like the applications of system dynamics in like that space. But at the same time, I had a business, and at the same time, I was like, manifestation's kind of cool. I want to start a research institute and like go down that path. And so at that time, I have no idea like why, but I was like in the TikTok space and like a little bit of the YouTube space. I was like, this Arlen dude might have something for me here if I like might try to pivot in this new way. So I was like, might as well try it.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And when you say you were a failed scientist, what do you mean by that?
Oh, it was like the perception of fail not in I wasn't good at it because I'm good at most things I do, but failed as in that wasn't that wasn't an experience that was fun for me. Like it wasn't meaningful. It didn't give me a sense that it was like something impactful in a way. So it was
Got
just
it.
failed in that sense.
Got it. Right. And then you joined, and one of the main things I remember you focusing on pretty quickly was you grew a following,
Yeah,
um,
real quick.
real quick on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that like?
That was it was weird, low key. Like it happened so fast I almost didn't notice at the time. Like, because I was thinking about it earlier for like preparation for this, and I was like, TikTok. It took me like only a couple of weeks to get to like a million views on one of my like TikToks, and then like I have like 40,000 followers or something now. But I haven't posted in like 2 months, and it like still increases because it's just like good quality content at that time. And it's just like
Yeah.
it's weird to think about.
What did you like initially about joining the program
Community.
that you think, yeah, the community itself?
Mm,
Yeah. And do you think
that's the
that's
key
what led
aspect.
to success in TikTok and in your business?
I think it was a merger. So at first, so it's more right now, it's the understanding that the community is the big part going forward. But at that particular time, like right at the beginning, was the content, was like the courses itself. Like I went did the Maxi Pro, and like a lot of that I was familiar with like other people I went to, like Sam Ovens, like some of those principles are in there, or like with Quasi and like some of like the manifestation and the quantum physics. It was just like those understandings kind of match what I already knew. So when I went into the community, when I went into your video content for like how to make a good YouTube video, things like that, I was like, okay, this guy knows my vibe. This has to be good stuff.
Got it. Okay. And yeah, talk to me more about your experience with the community?
Yeah. So
What do you
the
like about it?
community aspect, the community is a really solid group of individuals that I've still been growing with. Like after this call, I might just be on like another call with Nicole. And then like maybe 3 hours from now, I'll be on a call with Andrew. And then like me
Oh,
and Daniel
wow.
still connect. And then like me and Cameron still connect. So it's this kind of longevity aspect of the community that everyone's actually trying to go the same direction that you are. And that gives you this like-minded ability to like give and share, receive, grow with. So it's
Yeah.
just amazing.
That is definitely something. I appreciate you saying that and hearing that, because sometimes I don't know that you guys are like having these hour-long calls
Yeah.
without me. I really try to cultivate that. I have friends in the space who they ask me, they're like, Arlen, how do you have such a strong community? Like they'll pop in like one of my free group chats even
Mm-hmm.
and see like all the engagement, and they're like, how are you getting people to engage this much? And I'm like, I just spend time. I really try to foster those relationships,
Mm-hmm.
like as soon as someone joins, right, I'm connecting them to someone immediately. I
Mm-hmm.
think I remember with you specifically, I connected you with multiple people who were trying to grow on TikTok. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Sam Matheson
Yeah.
was one of the first guys to like pop on
He
TikTok.
got
And
big real fast.
yeah, and so I mean that in and of itself I think is cool, which is just makes the value of the program uh interesting, because it's like you're getting access to this really dope group of people. And if anything, that in my eyes is a win.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think has been your top lessons learned that you wish you could go back and tell yourself to shortcut your success?
Top lessons learned: trust myself more. That's like the biggest thing, low key. It was a sense that it was like I was always following this path correctly, but sometimes I would just like lessen how big I believed in myself. And that led me to this like lesser path. I was like, this should be the safer path. But doing that would like lead me on this weird journey that took me directly away from what I was trying to do. So it was a sense that trusting myself more, trusting more in the thoughts, the plans, the strategies I have, that just knowingness of following these step by steps is the way to get there. Trusting that more would have taken me where I am way faster.
Mm. And before joining, did you have a lot of friends in this space that were entrepreneurially minded, growth minded, like wanting to help out?
I had a few that were like semi entrepreneurially minded, but none of them necessarily had the sense that there's like a realness to it, like a passion for it. Like I guess the key thing I see in our community is this sense that everyone has this deeper meaning behind their purpose itself. Like for JT, it's like, yeah, he's selling shoes and stuff, but it's like there's this bigger experience behind it. There's this deeper meaning behind it that's more expansive, that can like unite and tie people together. So I did not have that in my prior communities, and that's something that changed.
Got it. So how did you go into like tell us the story of like how you got to Hawaii with your business
Yeah.
and with a team of 20?
Yeah, that's interesting. So for me, I like to travel for like research, like the sense that going places and meeting new people in these different cultures, it gives me this sense of new perspective. And that's what I use directly to do my research, how to like create new plans and strategies for manifestation, whatever. So the Hawaii experience came from the context of at the time I was creating a new version of the program. Like that's the one I sent you. So it was the one that took all of the course content, all of like the strategies and the techniques. And I started integrating the YouTube content. I learned how to create this video, how to create this narrative, this story around it. And that's what I used to create this like new 8-week plan. And it was like going through the process of creating that new course, creating that new perception, that this like idea popped in, like, why don't I just manifest why at the same time I'm making this course to like have something to explain while we're going through it. And it's funny because it's like by the end of like me creating the content for the course, just like telling them the techniques to manifest stuff is when I manifested the Hawaii trip. And it's just like funny because right after I made that course, that's when I just left and went to Hawaii, like 2 days later type of thing. So it was just fun.
And you went with 20 people?
No, so the 20 people is the current RI team. So what I meant by
Okay.
that was that when I first joined like Max
And
and all those
RI is
things,
your
Research Institute.
research institute. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Reality Realization Institute. We love it.
Right. That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was that at the time I joined Maxi, I didn't have anyone in it. It was really just me working like solo, just like trying to figure things out, blah blah blah. But it was going through Maxi, learning about those like community aspects. Because right, what I first did was create that Discord from the TikTok. I grew it to like 2,000 people in like a month. It was like it got huge. I mean,
Wow.
it's still active today. We still have like a lot of the new people in RI, they're like managers of the Discord, so they're just like interacting with the community and like keeping that engaged. So it's just super cool to see. But the first 20 people basically to join RI came in like the past like 3 4 months since joining Maxi type of thing. And like some of that was integrating with like the own stuff I do for RI, but it was just like this overall holistic experience that was just super cool to see. And it's like weird how fast it happened because I'm like, wait, I even met some of these people within this like 3 month period of like recently. So it's just like things are just
Like at
going
the
so
live event,
fast.
you mean?
Yeah, like some of them I met from the live event who are now like joining me in RI and like helping me out. Or like some of them are people that came from my Discord, came from this community structure and like rose all the way. And now they're joining RI and like supporting and helping with the mission. So it's super sick to see.
Okay, I want to take a little bit of a step back here because it's crazy how I feel like you and I are going so fast right now. Like for the viewer,
Yeah.
they're just like, "What the fuck are you guys talking
What's
about?" So
happening?
let's slow it down so we
Okay,
can like go step by step. So
for sure.
step one, like before you joined the program, you
Mm-hmm.
were essentially following a career path that you weren't passionate about,
Yeah.
right?
Following
And
career path
then
and just trying to grow something. Yeah.
and then after you joined, you started going through the content and being a part of the community, attending live calls.
Mm-hmm.
And when did the transition happen when you shifted from scientist to more aligned with like what Donnie's life purpose is and what you're meant to be doing? When
Let's
did that happen and how did that happen? Like I'm thinking like person
contextually.
watching
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
who's
Contextually.
like lost, like someone who would be in your shoes originally.
Yeah. I think for me, it was the live event. Like I was familiar with the content already and I integrated that. So it was a sense that I'd gotten like big on TikTok, made the Discord, things like that beforehand, but I didn't notice that those things held meaning that like it like gave me the sense of like, whoa, reality is actually changing here. Until I went to the live event and was able to like experience kind of the sense of, oh, these are real people. This is a real thing that's happening.
So even further back than that, like when you first started making the content that you were more passionate about on TikTok,
Mhm.
right? Because like I feel like a
Probably
lot of
right from the
people
beginning.
watching this,
Yeah.
like maybe in jobs they don't like or just not
Yeah.
following a career path that they're not excited about. What made you take the leap to start talking about things that you were actually genuinely excited about on the internet?
Mm. What made me take the leap? Probably from your content that I started watching after I joined Maxi. So like maybe a week or two after I joined Maxi.
Okay, so I just want to get the timeline straight. So
Yeah.
time is a weird thing, but let's try to get it
Very
straight.
weird.
So you were working this job you didn't like.
Hmm.
Then you joined. Then shortly after joining, you got some inspiration to start talking about things on the internet that you actually like doing.
Yep.
Then you opened a Discord and built it in a month to 2,000 people.
Yeah.
Then did you open a course?
Yeah. So I was working. So before I joined Maxi, what I was doing was working on the course, working on like the program. So I
All
was
right,
doing one-on-one coaching with like manifestation, stuff like that. And I was
right.
like kind of like looking for a direction of like, how do I build this in a way that still feels like fun to me type of thing. And that's when you popped up.
Got it. Okay. So then the course just started growing, obviously, because you had 2,000 people in this free Discord. And then you attended the live event, and you're saying at the live event, that's when you were like, oh, wow, this is significant. Like, this is what I'm actually supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And wow. Dude, that's pretty crazy. Like, I don't even know how to I didn't realize that your growth was
Yeah.
that much.
Like, cool. It's so cool.
So you went from solo entrepreneur doing one-on-ones to within a month, 2,000 people in your community. And then you, within that community, essentially built an entire research institute. And is and can you explain what is the relationship between the research institute? What are you researching and the program?
Yeah.
What's the relationship?
So you can call the research the nature of reality, but it's basically applications and manifestation with the connections between the disciplines of science. So psychology, physics, epigenetics, neuroscience, how do these things relate? Because I mean, these are all just systems that we use to go about reality, but they're all foundationalized in the same thing. So it's trying to take the foundation and figuring out how can we apply the foundation. So you don't need to go into necessarily all these different paths, but have a more structured way of creating holistically desirable experiences in all categories or manifestation.
Okay, got it. So people will graduate from your program and then are essentially case studies for the Reality Realization Institute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, we do plan on doing studies with actual colleges and stuff in the future, but that's we don't really care about that just yet.
What would you tell someone who's considering joining my mentoring program and is on the fence about it?
Be off the fence? I mean, it's if you want to do anything and whatever you're trying to do involves other people, this is a pretty good first step for anything.
What would you tell someone who's struggling to make friends and wanting to join, struggling to make friends who are excited about
okay,
what they actually like doing as well? They have friends, but they're not really friends that are entrepreneurial. They're just kind of doing.
So it's the sense of they want to be in a community with those who are inspired to change something in the world and also just pursue their passions type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That type of advice. What would I tell them? I would say.
Will they get that if they join?
I would say they would get that if they join the program. That's one of the key things that you do get. That community aspect, that foundation. Because I mean, it's a solid foundation to what a community is. So you would definitely get that if you join the program. If that's the only reason you want to join the program, then it's 100% valid.
And what other things do you think are the main benefits of joining?
The courses itself are high quality. There's back research. I mess with the vibes. It's all the same things that I do in my own research. So it's high quality materials for either if you still have the YouTube things, pursuing that avenue, or for tribe building a community, or for Maxi Pro for just building yourself. So they're all super good.
Okay. And so Donnie, with the Reality Realization Institute, what are you focusing on? What niche of people?
Right now, our niche of people, we kind of changed it a little bit because we're starting to have new ideas of things we want to do in terms of live events or get-togethers that are adventures across the world. So right now, the niche is more of kind of your entrepreneur, your small business owner who sees that what they're doing is providing good. Maybe they're making a solid income, a few figures, but what they're missing is the sense that they're doing this work, they're making money, they should be having the things that they want, but they're not necessarily getting this experience of, this isn't providing for me, this isn't making me happy, this isn't giving me meaning, this isn't helping me feel like life's worth living type of thing. And it's changing their perspective, changing their ability so that not only does their work become meaningful again, not only do they now have the sense that making money can be something that fulfills them, that can give them more passion, but it's also changing other aspects of their life too. Now every moment's a good moment.
Nice. So specifically, you're targeting people who feel like they've lost their drive and passion in the work that they do.
Bingo.
Nice. Nice. And so you work with, you mentioned like musical artists, but that can obviously transcend different
Yeah.
jobs and vocations. That's
Like
really cool.
the same way, like my medical interpreting company is language neutral in the sense that we can provide training for anyone in any language is kind of a similar thought process for the Research Institute's program. And that you could almost say it's one size fit all because it's kind of the reverse. It's meant for the individual to create their own perspective. So it could work from anyone from like my little sister to like Bill Gates is kind of like the goal of it.
Nice. That's awesome. And what are you looking to do in the next 6 to 12 months?
I wrote this down a couple of days ago. You know how like influencers have like hype houses and whatever, and like there's like
Yeah.
this community mansion. I want to make like an RI palace. Like this palace idea, it's still happening. It's still a whole thing. I still know where I want to build in Hawaii and everything. But I was like, I want this to be more of a community experience. So like Research Institute Palace in like Hawaii or something similar that's just like this community of just like the core of RI. And it's like this hub. Because I was thinking of it in terms of like the PayPal mafia, like just the elites all together creating things. And from there, we want to use that as like a home base of sorts to expand RI, expand the research, and also pursue different avenues.
Wow. That's sick. I'm excited to visit
Yeah,
if I
it's
get an
gonna be so
invite.
fun. Yo, for real, it's gonna be so fun.
I love it. I love it, Donnie. All right. Well, that's all the questions I had for you. I'm definitely gonna have to chop this up. So we go so fast.
Yeah.
But do you have any questions for me, Donnie?
Well, no, I mean, vibes are matching, so we're just chilling.
Cool. All right. I'll have your like socials and everything on there in case people want to reach out um, and ask you about RI, and that's it.
Sounds good to me.
Fire.